everyone, my name is Tegan Stainer, and I am very excited to be able to share my knowledge on John Watson. So, when I was scrolling through the list and I saw John Watson's name, I thought it was so cool because I watched this show called Sherlock, and there's a character on it named John Watson. Of course, I knew it wasn't him because he's not an educator or not a real person, I don't think, but I did a quick Google search and saw that he was a psychologist, and I was so excited because psychology is one of my favorite things, and I took a class on it in high school. So John is such a fascinating man, and I am so glad that I was able to study him. So he was born in South Carolina to a very Baptist mother, and he had a troubled childhood and got in trouble with the law many times in between school and and home. His father was an alcoholic and left by the time that he was 13. And he really could care less about school. He did not care about his grades, did not care about education in general, by the time he was done with high school, his mother had to push him to go to college, and his mother pulled some strings to get him into college. So, shout out to mothers for being there for their children. But anyways, so this going to college turned John's life around utterly and completely. He loved education, and he loved learning, and he was very influenced by people before him, like Ivan Pavlov. I hope I said that correct. Ivan Pavlov, who had done some research on behaviorism, but it was not known as behaviorism before then because John really did the studies for it and made it what it is. So after John went to college, he graduated by the time he was 21 with a master's degree. He loved learning so much that he went on to go to graduate school and got a PhD in psychology. So the school that he had graduated from, he ended up being a research professor, and that means that he taught students while also conducting research on behaviorism. So behaviorism really is conditional learning. So say that I'm a teacher, and I say that if my students get good grades or get like 100% on a test, I will give them a cookie. And if they don't get a good grade, and if they get like below, say, a D, they will, get spankings or something like that, even though that would never happen. But that's basically conditional learning, that behavior can be conditioned, and if you say that I got an A on the test and got a cookie, then I would want to do that again and again and again to continually get the cookie. Anyways, so he is very famous for a particular experiment known as the Little Albert experiment. And I'm going to go ahead and read that because I do not want to mess it up. So, little Albert was around the age of 9 months. Watson and Rayner was one of his graduate students that he had taught, exposed the child to I'll back up a little bit. Watson and Rayner exposed the child to a series of stimuli, including a white rat, a rabbit, a monkey, masks, and burning newspapers, and observed the boy's reactions. The boy initially showed no fear of any of the objects he was shown. The next time Albert was exposed to the rat, Watson made a loud noise by hitting a metal pipe with a hammer. Naturally, the child began to cry before hearing the loud noise. Cry after hearing the loud noise. After repeatedly pairing the white rat with the loud noise, Albert began to cry simply after seeing the rat. Watson and Rayner wrote, "The instant the rat was shown, the baby began to cry. Almost instantly, he turned sharply to the left, fell over on his left side, raised himself on all fours, and began to crawl away so rapidly that he was caught with difficulty before reaching the edge of the table." So this experiment is very famous, not only because it shows how behaviorism can work so instantly, but also because it is very controversial because of how they treated little Albert and how the psychological effects that could have happened to him. So I think that this is so amazing that he was able to come from not even caring about education to being the father of behaviorism, is what he's called a lot today. And how he could make that out of basically coming from nothing to being such a amazing man that contributed not only to how teachers can teach their students, but also to psychology and learning more about how the brain works and stuff like that. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching my report. I hope you guys have a great day.